All right, everybody. So I just finished reading The Wave by Walter Mosley. What we've got going on is Errol is your protagonist. His life is solidly meh at the moment. He's going through a painful divorce. However, he's also got a girl at work who they seem to have a mutual attraction. So he's got that going for him. He's lost his house as part of the divorce settlement. But by the same token, the person who has bought the house now has agreed to rent him back the garage as a living space, so he's still got a roof over his head. So just to make sure that the balance doesn't tip too much in his favor, all of a sudden, middle of the night, he gets a call from his dad, which, normally wouldn't be that big a deal. Problem is his dad's been dead for 9 years. So who's calling him? Why does he sound like his father? Why does he know things that only his dad would know? Finally, he can't take it anymore. He goes out, not spoiling, this is all early stuff. He goes out and finds the guy. Gentleman is living in the cemetery where his father was buried. And yeah, he looks kind of like the spitting image of his dad as a younger man. So, what the heck is going on? Rest of the story, Harold's trying to figure out who this guy is. He looks just like his dad, except for he looks like he's about in his 20s. And of course, dad much older than that when he passed away. And he seems to keep knowing things. So Errol's on a quest now. He's trying to figure out who is this guy and what does he mean, not only to Errol himself, but to the world as a whole. You know what? Can't get into too much more without giving out some spoilers on this. I will tell you this. This book is way better than I think Goodreads has given it credit for. I think it's hovering in the low threes. Don't quote me on that. Could be the mid threes. And I think I understand why. If you are a big Walter Mosley fan and you went into this with, really high expectations, it's probably not what you're expecting from him. If you're a hardcore science fiction guy and you need to know the what's, the how's, the whys, you're not going to get that. We get the whys of what's going on. We don't really get the how. It doesn't go in depth as to why what's happening is happening. So, in that way, it's a little bit, it's not paranormal, but it reads more paranormal, if you know what I'm saying. So, if you go into this, like I said, if you don't need the hardcore sci-fi, if you're fine with it being reading more like a fantasy, just pretend everything's magic, then you're good to go. Lower your expectations a little bit, and I think you will thoroughly enjoy this one. I'm giving it a 4. I'm not giving it any higher, mainly for two reasons. Uh, One, again, like I said, I like my sci-fi to be rooted in science, and this book glosses over the science fiction part of it, and also the narration on this one. This is nothing against the narrator, Tim Kaine. I hope this is the right Tim Kaine. This is who I found on the internet as a voice narrator. It's the wrong Tim. Sorry, Tim. I apologize. Tim Kaine does a great job with the voices and everything else. I think he reads the story very well. But somebody in the production of this audiobook decided that instead of having a chapter on each section was going to be a huge chunk of multiple chapters. And if you like audiobooks like I do, where I listen to them as I fall asleep, and if I finish a chapter, I'll wait till the end of next chapter until I finally wake up in the morning and I have to go back a chapter to see what I missed. That's easy on 8, 10, 15 minute, maybe even 30-minute chapters. But because they do multiple chapters in this book, each section's like over an hour. Now, the book itself isn't that long, but this week, I had a few tired nights and I would crash before I finished a chapter, before I finished a section. And it took me like 3 days to get through one section because I would have to go back all the way through that hour and a half to figure out where I fell asleep to. Much simpler when each chapter is its own section, own track. You know what I'm saying? All right. But if you set aside, if you're going to get the physical book, I think you'll enjoy it. And again, like I said, this is nothing against Tim Kaine. I think he did a great job voicing the book. But yeah, just I don't like the way it was chopped up. Personal thing. That's me. So again, 4 stars. I think you'll enjoy it. even if the sci-fi bugs you more than it does me, I'd probably still give it like a 3.5. I don't know if I go down to a 3. So yeah, that's all I got. Have a good one, guys. Catch you later.